What is up, everyone? You guys all know what time of the year it is. It's summer and it's about to be concert season. And I always get questions from you guys asking me for any advice I have for going to your very first concert. You guys know how many concerts I go to. It's like my absolute favorite thing to do in the entire world. So I was like, alright, I'm just gonna do a concert tips video. I'm gonna try and cover as much information as possible, everything I can possibly think of when it comes to going to concerts. And let me just say that this mainly applies to general admission shows, which is basically where you're just standing in like a pit. So without further ado, let's jump right into the very first section I want to cover, buying tickets. Now let me just mention, a while back I actually did a full video on how I buy my concert tickets, so if you want to check out that with a little bit more in-depth information, go ahead and click the link up here to watch that. But first of all, the main tip I have is just to be up to date with your favorite bands. Obviously on Twitter, if you put their tweet notifications on, that way you'll know whatever they're up to, and if they're ever going to announce a tour, you'll be the first to know about it. Obviously you can also sign up for their mailing list, which they will email you if any of that information does come out. And once tickets actually do go on sale, do not wait. Like, buy them as soon as you possibly can. Take advantage of pre-sale if that's an option for you. Like I said before, if you join the mailing list, a lot of bands actually give you like a pre-sale code if you're signed up for their mailing list. The earlier you buy your tickets, the better seats you're gonna have. If there are seats, if it's GA, obviously it doesn't matter as much. The only thing you gotta worry about if it's general admission is them selling out, because resale tickets can be a pain in the ass. They're always way overpriced, so you just want to go ahead and buy them as soon as they go on sale. Make sure you know where the venue is located, and also make sure you have a ride there and back. I always recommend to go to a show with a friend or a group of friends, because you're going to be a lot safer and you're just going to have so much more fun if you're with your friends. In terms of what to bring to a concert, you really shouldn't need much. Besides like your phone and some money. But a lot of people do bring drawstring bags or like little purses to hold some other things. That's always going to vary from person to person depending on what you decide to bring to the show. But like I said, you really shouldn't need like much. Like, what do you need to bring to just like a concert, you know? Now if you're going to a festival like Warped Tour, it's a whole different story. You're definitely going to want to bring a drawstring bag to Warped Tour or any other type of all-day festival. That way you can carry like snacks and drinks and like your camera, your phone, even a charger, a little jacket, an umbrella, whatever else you may possibly need. But like I said, it is easiest to just stay light. You don't really want to have to worry about carrying around like a backpack or something. It's gonna get pretty uncomfortable as it is just with like yourself and the crowd. But if you have like a big bag to worry about, it's just going to be even more annoying and irritating to not only you, but the people around you. Also, it is very, very important that you eat enough food during the day. That way you have enough energy before the show comes up. And please, I beg of you, drink a lot of water. It is summer. You will be so surprised at how hot you can get and how easily it is to actually get dehydrated. I see people pass out every single time I go to a show. Like, there's just so many people dropping like literally like flies, and it's kind of terrifying. So please drink plenty of water like before you get to the show, and then bring a water to the show. Like, if you're waiting in line, just like chug it. Honestly, just chug it. Like, that way you have the water in your body, you know? You really don't want to get dehydrated. You're going to be sweating. Like, it's summer right now, the sun's going to be beating down, you're going to be in a giant crowd, and that just makes it like 20 times as hot. The same thing goes actually for an indoor show. You think it wouldn't be as hot in there, but it gets very, very hot in indoor shows too. Even if they have like the air conditioning on, it gets so hot in there because there's no room for like the air to like circulate and move around. You're just kind of stuck, and that can get really, really uncomfortable. So please make sure you stay hydrated. This is kind of common sense. Dress accordingly to the weather. It's pretty much summer right now, so most likely the weather is going to be hot and sunny and maybe even humid, which can make it even more uncomfortable. So obviously, if that's the case, you know, if the show is outdoors and you're in GA, make sure you wear something just comfortable, like shorts, a t-shirt, even just like a tank top, a crop top, you know, just something comfortable and breathable. That way, like, you don't want to wear like a hoodie and like jeans or something, because you're gonna get way too hot. Also, do not forget sunglasses, because you're gonna be probably like squinting like that if the sun, you know, depending on where the sun is. You'd think, oh, the show like is at night though, but you're probably gonna be there early. The sun in the summertime usually doesn't go down till almost 9 o'clock, at least where I live. So you're still going to want to bring some sunglasses. Throw them in that bag you decided to bring, or your pocket, or whatever. but just bring them just in case. Also, I don't know why I even have to say this, but please do not wear flip-flops. You're pretty much asking to get hurt in that case. Just don't do it. I mean, if you're in a seat, like, I don't give a fuck what you wear, but if you're in the pit, you do not want to wear flip-flops or any type of sandals for that matter, because people are going to be stepping on them constantly, stepping on your toes, like, ouch. I don't know about you, but I'm not really trying to sacrifice a couple of my toes to see my favorite band, so let's just, no flip-flops, please. Stick to shoes like Converse or Vans or any type of tennis shoes, something comfy like that, that's easy to, like, walk around in and stand in all day. You're not going to want to be in flip-flops all day anyways. The same thing goes for like Warped Tour or anything like that. Also, don't even bother trying to dress up because honestly, it's not worth it. If you're in the pit, you're probably going to look hella unattractive by the end of the night anyways, so there's not really any point in like wearing something super fancy. Just trust me on this one. Like I said though, if you're in a seat, do whatever the hell you want, but if you're going to be in the pit, like, don't even bother. Like, it's just such a waste. As for those of you who wear makeup, I would recommend going light on that. Like, you don't really need to pack it all on, because you're probably going to sweat it all off, honestly. I usually stick to just basic eye makeup. Obviously, you can go with waterproof stuff if you're into that. That might, you know, prevent it from, like, actually sweating off your eyes or whatever. But I just kind of like to keep it simple because, honestly, no one's even really looking at you, so it doesn't matter. So when you do arrive at the show, the first thing you gotta do is find your spot to stand. But keep in mind that there's probably going to be a line depending on how early you actually arrive at the venue. So the earlier you get there usually gives you the better chance at getting closer to the front of the stage. Now I usually tend to stand on one of the sides of the stages, like towards the front, but like on the side, like not directly in the middle, because I'm a little bit claustrophobic. I don't really like to be, you know, surrounded by people, so if I'm like near a side, it's like easier for me to get out if I ever need to, but it still gives me like a pretty decent view of the actual stage. Now if you've never stood in a crowd before, I'm so sorry, because you're in for a pretty big wake-up call. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. You're probably gonna get pissed off at people around you. It's just like kind of unpleasant if you're outside and everyone's sweating. I think you can understand what I'm getting at. But just try your best to be really friendly to everyone around you. It's really not that hard to be a decent person, you know? You also gotta expect crowd surfers and people that are gonna be moshing. It happens at pretty much every show I go to. At least there's like a little circle pit or something. It just like never fails for some reason whenever I go to a show. But just be aware of that. If you're like near the edge of the circle pit, you're probably going to get hit by people just throwing themselves into you. So that's kind of one of the reasons I try and stay off to the side at least a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to avoid. There's a slight chance that like you could get injured. And like I said before about the crowd surfers, there's going to be people like coming from all different directions, like crowd surfing, so I always try and keep like my eyes peeled, you know, keep your eye out for people all around you. You never know who's gonna hit you and land on top of you. Actually happened to me before. I thought I broke my neck, so beware. Just make sure you are aware of your surroundings. Don't hesitate to move back if you're feeling uncomfortable. And I'm gonna go back to the water thing again. Keep water on you, or don't be afraid to like go buy some during the middle of the show, because girl, by the 4th song you are gonna need it. But the most obvious and simple tip I can give you guys is just to have fun. Just remember that everyone is there for the same exact reason as you, to see like their favorite band or just have a really good time. So just enjoy yourself the best you can. You know, you paid money for this. You have the privilege of watching a band live, and it's just, that's one of my favorite things in the world. Don't be on your phone the whole time. Don't be taking pictures the entire time. Obviously you can snap a couple photos, you know, take some short clips of songs, but don't just like be behind your phone. You know, you want to watch it with your eyes. You're going to want to have those memories, not just in your phone, but like in your head, like through your eyes. And those are moments that you will never forget. And also keep in mind, depending on the band you're seeing, there's always a slight possibility that after the show you might be able to meet the band. A lot of the smaller bands, even the opening ones, come out to their merch table after, so you could always go meet them. So I wouldn't recommend, you know, just leaving the venue right away when it's over. I usually like scope the floor out for guitar picks or something and try and get a set list if I can, but that usually never happens. So by the time it's over, you know, you just mosey your way back to the merch tables, buy your merch if you're gonna buy any. You never know, you might run into some band members. That's always a pleasant surprise. So I think that's pretty much everything I can think of for right now when it comes to going to concerts. Like I said, this mainly applies to general admission shows where you're just standing in a pit. If there's anything else you guys want to know, make sure you leave a question down below, I'll answer it. And of course, you can always hit me up on my Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or Facebook page if you want some more in-depth answers. I really hope this video helped some of you guys who have never been to a concert, as well as those of you who have never been to just a general admission concert. Make sure you hit that like button if this video did help you out, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.